Ella and Maya were best friends, inseparable in every way. They did everything together, and their bond was so strong that most people mistook them for twins. Not only did they dress alike, but they also shared an uncanny resemblance. It was almost as if they were sisters, though from different mothers. Their connection ran so deep that even during holidays, they couldn't go a day without talking to each other. Their friendship was truly one of a kind. During the day, Ella and Maya would share everything with each other: secrets, recent achievements, happy moments, and even times of sadness. They were like two peas in a pod. Everyone on campus admired their close friendship, not just for their inseparable bond, but also for their striking beauty and the way they dressed so stylishly. To top it all off, they even lived together, making their friendship seem even more special. Ella and Maya were roommates on campus, but their routine was about to change. Ella had to leave for a 6-month IT program, which meant she wouldn't be staying with Maya for a while. Before her departure, she decided to visit the supermarket to pick up some cosmetics for her trip. As she casually strolled through the aisles, her eyes fell on a handsome young man named Richard. He had a charm that seemed to light up the entire room, and Ella couldn't help but feel butterflies in her stomach the moment she saw him. Ella was completely captivated by Richard's appearance. Unable to let him walk away, she gathered her courage and approached him. We struck up a conversation, and with her heart racing, she boldly asked for his number. Filled with excitement, Ella rushed back home to tell Maya all about her encounter. She gushed endlessly about Richard, how he was everything she'd ever dreamed of in a man, the type of person she could see herself marrying. Ella couldn't stop talking about him, going on and on, completely smitten. Maya was thrilled for Ella when she found out that Ella had actually gotten Richard's number. Excited for her friend, she hoped their connection would grow into something more than just exchanging contact information. A few days later, Maya decided to visit the salon to get her hair done. Normally, she and Ella would go together whenever they needed a fresh style, but since Ella was busy preparing for her upcoming IT journey, Maya had to go alone this time. That day, Maya went to Eunice Salon, a place where both men and women came for haircuts. To her surprise, Richard walked in to get his hair trimmed. The moment he saw Maya, he was captivated by her beauty and felt an instant attraction. Maya, too, found herself drawn to Richard, unaware that this was the very same guy Ella had gushed about just days earlier. They exchanged phone numbers at the salon, and Maya, excited about her encounter, went home eager to tell her friend about the handsome guy she'd just met. Maya excitedly told Ella about the guy she met at the salon, and Ella was genuinely happy for her, not realizing it was the same Richard she had fallen for. The next day, Ella left for her IT program, still daydreaming about Richard. She had been waiting for his call, but didn't want to be the one to reach out first. So she kept her hopes up. Ella even planned to look for Richard after her program if she hadn't heard from him by then. Meanwhile, Maya and Richard began communicating frequently, and as time passed, Richard fell deeply in love with Maya. Maya and Richard started going on date nights, shopping together, and spending most of their time with each other. Their love grew deeper, and soon Richard proposed to Maya, asking her to be his wife. Overjoyed, Maya immediately called Ella to share the exciting news, unaware that Richard was the same man Ella had fallen for. Ella was thrilled for her friend and excitedly talked about the upcoming wedding. how she would be the chief bridesmaid, how they'd planned everything together, and how perfect it would all be. Little did she know that the groom-to-be was the very same Richard she had once dreamed about. Ella had been dreaming of marrying Richard, only to find out that her best friend Maya was now engaged to him. When Ella returned to help Maya with the wedding plans, she was shocked to discover
that the man Maya was about to marry was the same Richard she had fallen for. Richard, too, realized that Ella was Maya's friend, but he was unfazed. After all, he and Ella had never been in a relationship, nor had he ever asked her out. In fact, they hadn't spoken since the day Ella asked for his number, so there were no lingering ties between them. At the supermarket, Ella felt a deep sense of betrayal and began to harbor resentment toward Maya. Before we continue the story, I'd like to kindly ask my audience to take a moment to subscribe and like the channel. Your support helps us continue sharing these stories with you. She convinced herself that Maya had stolen Richard from her, perhaps even taking Richard's number from her phone the day she excitedly told Maya about meeting him. Little did Ella know Richard had coincidentally met Maya at the salon. Without asking Maya any questions, Ella jumped to conclusions, believing her friend had stolen her dream man. Though she pretended everything was fine on the surface, deep down, Ella secretly hated Maya and began plotting against her. Despite Ella's feelings, Maya and Richard went on to have a beautiful wedding, oblivious to the storm brewing inside Ella. Maya and Richard's home was a haven of love and warmth. Ella, serving as Maya's chief bridesmaid, wore a smile that masked her true feelings. Beneath the surface, she was scheming against Maya. After the wedding, Ella devised a plan to get into Maya's home. She fabricated a story about having accommodation problems since she and Maya were no longer roommates. Moved by her love for Ella, Maya convinced Richard to allow Ella to stay with them. Richard and Maya welcomed Ella into their home with open arms, unaware of her hidden agenda. They spent time together, going out, attending family gatherings, and sharing countless activities. Unbeknownst to Maya, her dear friend Ella was secretly harboring deep-seated resentment and disdain. Ella's plan was to create discord between Maya and Richard, hoping to make Maya so frustrated with her marriage that she would eventually leave, allowing Ella to step in. Ella began by sabotaging Maya's meals, either by over-seasoning them with too much salt or pepper. This caused misunderstandings between Maya and Richard, as Richard began to believe that Maya was a poor cook. The couple's constant arguments over minor issues grew more frequent, fueled by Ella's covert interference. Believing Ella to be a trusted friend and confidant, Maya frequently shared her thoughts and feelings with her. Unbeknownst to Maya, Ella used this trust to influence her negatively, turning her into a more rude and toxic partner for Richard. One fateful day, Ella told Maya that she had overheard Richard talking to another woman. Because Maya had such faith in Ella, she instantly believed the accusation, leading to serious issues between the couple. They began to argue over every minor detail. Determined to escalate Maya's frustration, Ella also used a different phone number to send text messages to Richard, knowing that Maya would see them and use them as fodder for further arguments with her husband. After a while of creating serious problems between Maya and Richard, Ella realized that her efforts to drive Maya away were having the opposite effect. Instead of Maya becoming frustrated and considering leaving the marriage, Ella's actions only seemed to cause more pain for everyone involved, including herself. Maya was committed to her marriage and had no intention of leaving. Seeing that her plans were failing, Ella decided to confront Maya, accusing her of stealing Richard's phone number from her. Maya, taken aback, explained that she had no idea Richard was the same man Ella had met at the supermarket. Maya also mentioned that she had met Richard at the hair salon and reassured Ella that she would never betray their friendship. She insisted that if she had known Richard was the same person Ella had been interested in, she wouldn't have pursued a relationship with him to preserve their bond. Realizing her mistake, Ella admitted that she had wrongly assumed Maya had stolen Richard's number from her phone. She confessed to Maya that she had been deliberately causing the issues between Maya and Richard in an attempt to frustrate Maya and take Richard for herself. Both Maya and Richard were shocked by this revelation. Despite Ella's actions, Maya and Richard forgave her. The two friends apologized to each other and reconciled, allowing Ella to leave Maya's home with a sense of love and peace. This experience made Maya recall her mother's advice from her wedding to avoid bringing a third party into their home, especially in the first 2 years of marriage. Eventually, Ella found her true soulmate and got married shortly after leaving Maya's home. She realized that her feelings for Richard had been mere infatuation, not true love. The once friends, now more like sisters, rekindled their bond and lived happily ever after. The moral of the story is to never jump to conclusions about others without first having a conversation. Misunderstandings can cause pain and damage relationships, but forgiveness and open communication can heal even the deepest wounds. Always strive to communicate clearly rather than making assumptions. Thank you so much for watching Stories and F-Tales. Please support us by subscribing to our channel. We appreciate your support.